We are finally back together, doing this great thing with the goddess of the grape. She is back. I'm going to be bringing her in, and then we're also going to be bringing in JR as my phone makes noises it's not supposed to. So now you know what phone company I use, I guess. But anyway, um, we are going to be talking. We've got Jr. With us from the Veterans Ranch, but we know that hey, you've already had Jr. on once. That's okay. This is about something completely different. We all know that Ian, whatever the hell you want to call it, hit Florida last week. We were talking about it on this show last week as it was doing damage. Well, JR has been working hard to put together a group to help our elderly veterans recover from all the damage that was done. Um, he's going to talk a little bit more about it, but this is something that, you know what, we really need your help on, okay? I've mentioned this before and I want to mention it again. We're a great country. When somebody needs help, when something catastrophic happens overseas, we jump on, we help them out. That's what we do. We need to help our own country now. We're lagging a little bit here. JR has got a great heart. He and his family are putting this together to where they are spearheading this. This is something, all the money that we raise with this particular campaign is going to go to rebuilding the homes and the lives of our elderly veterans. So, and now saying that, I am so thrilled to say she is back. She's back with me. It is the goddess of the great, Stephanie. How are you, sweetheart?
I am so happy to be back and running this campaign with you, Zach, this month. Such an incredible cause, and I can't wait to dive in and really hear more from JR.
Yeah, you know, the look, let's be honest here. He kind of swept us off our feet the last time he was here with the facts about the Veterans Ranch, in which we're going to bring up the Veterans Ranch. Let's be honest here. The Veterans Ranch is the whole reason why this is able to even go on. So
Right.
it's still helping veterans along the way. But, you know, he was right smack dab in the middle of all this. And you know, and it's exciting that this is our first this is our sixth installment of doing this, which is great. And being able to take, and the timing I don't think could be any better.
I completely agree. I can't wait. But if you're watching this campaign for the very first time, I just want to quickly introduce myself and say hello to everybody watching. My name is Stephanie Simoes. I am a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Wine, which is an award-winning Napa Valley winery that gives back. So I am so excited to be here because in addition to the One Hope donation, I also want to contribute with this campaign. So let's dive right in, Zach. Let's talk to JR. I want to hear about all the things that they're working on.
Well, that sounds great. And Community Pay It Forward and Stephanie Simoes of One Hope Wines, we are very, very proud to welcome back to our little wine party, Mr. J.R. Smith of the Veterans Ranch. My brother, how are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having us back on here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on. You know, you and I talked a couple times last week. You and I were doing probably more talking together than we've done in about a year. It was about this time last year that we were involved in a kerfuffle that we tried to do things.
Yeah, we did our best.
Yeah. You know, you and I did pretty good, but otherwise. So
my 22-hour brother.
yeah. That was something very, very special, you know. And I'm looking forward to doing it again this year, or this upcoming year on February 22nd, doing it again. It meant a lot to me. We got to talk to a lot of great people, and and I really cannot wait to do it again. So, I think that we're going to have to bring along a little wine friend of ours to take and talk for a segment in that. So,
Although we can't sip any of the wine till like hour 21 and a half because it was
yeah,
a lot
well,
of coffee and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's for that is for darn sure, because I couldn't imagine starting drinking about hour 10.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I was ready to start drinking at around hour 10.
Yeah, it
And
could have been a lot more fun. We may
yeah,
have been a little more off the rails,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it could have been. I don't know. Maybe we'll experiment this year, upcoming year.
yeah. It
Who
would
knows?
have been one of those things where all of a sudden, I'd be talking about something, and then I would just kind of be going,
Yeah.
but,
that or people would have been saying, "Hey, JR, keep your Irish down. You
yeah.
need to settle down a little bit, buddy."
Yeah. Somebody tell Zach to spit the marbles out of his mouth. He's not making any sense. So, yeah. But JR, I want you to do me a favor and introduce us to the Veterans Ranch first. We'll get into the hurricane relief, but please introduce, for anybody who's not seen one of our shows, introduce them to the Veterans Ranch, please.
Absolutely. Well, we were started in 2017. Myself, my wife, who are proud patriots. For everybody that doesn't know that term officially, we're the 99% that support the 1% that raised their right hand, said, "I'll go, send me," and wore the uniform. The other co-founder is my dad, who's a Vietnam veteran, was in the Navy 69 to 73 and in country 69-70. We got sick and tired of being sick and tired, okay, of seeing reports of veteran suicide going up, going for help and not getting it and checking out when they got home, or just general reports about our veterans not being taken care of, from the homelessness problem to the suicide problem and just about everything in between. And we didn't know exactly what we wanted to do yet. My wife and I wanted a couple horses. We're horse people. This isn't just a costume, right? No cosplay here. We wanted a couple horses, our little slice of Americana, and just go on with our day. Well, the good Lord works in mysterious ways, and my dad always taught me to keep a legal pad by the bed in case you get an idea in the middle of the night. And somewhere around October, ironically, of 2017, I wake up at 3 a.m, scribble the word ranch. I still have that legal pad to this day. It's the only word on it. But again, we still didn't know what that means. A couple of weeks later, we're going to Bass Pro Shops. We stop at a Chili's for lunch. And long story short, about 20, 30 Chili's napkins later, the ideas for the Veterans Ranch was born. And December of 17, we were an official nonprofit. One main goal and mission in mind: help veterans and their immediate household family through equine therapy. What's equine therapy? Simply playing with horses, learning how to take and build a bond of trust with an animal that's inherently not born to trust anybody. Come full circle. When you look at our brand, we rebranded everything here in 2022, and our brand is a horse and a circle. Okay, with the circle coming around it to the right. We're NASCAR in reverse. We don't make left turns, we make right turns. The general idea is to get you to come full circle, lay down heavy coats of burden that you may not have even realized you're still hanging on to, right? That compartmentalization of just put it in its own little box and shove it down here somewhere, and really just start to walk off as a new and improved version of yourself. Horses are absolutely amazing animals. They can feel a gnat land on their back. They know everything about you 10 feet away. Whatever you're projecting out is what that horse is going to project back to you. They're truly an amazing, loyal animal. We run this out of our home here in Lakeland, Florida. We're also registered in the great state of Texas and soon to be nationwide through our affiliate ranch program we just launched. We are looking for people that either patriots or veterans that are not nonprofits yet, that want to give back, have that giver's gain mentality, and they have some land and horses. Could be 10 acres and 5 horses. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. You can reach out to us and become the Veterans Ranch. Come under our umbrella and become the Veterans Ranch right there in your backyard, and start serving the 19 million veterans that are in this country. Because, folks, let me tell you one thing that's changed since the last time you saw me talk. Veteran suicide numbers doubled. Okay. Fox News 2 Mondays ago put an article online. Keep pushing, please. It's getting traction online. Keep pushing to get them to talk about this on TV. I don't care what your favorite alphabet station is, if you're right or left or red or blue. They raise their right hand to defend the Constitution. They didn't raise their right hand to defend a political party. What they found out is that across 8 states, 2 different universities, so this wasn't like a small little pocketed area poll they took. We're looking at probably close to 44 suicides a day. 16,000 great Americans checking out off this planet that don't need to. Now, we're doing our part through God's majestic animal to, try and get that number back down to what we thought we knew of 22. We want to get it to 0, but we can't do it alone. And that's why we're here talking about, what it is we do and, help here with the hurricane relief.
One of the things that we've said, that we brought up a lot during our 22-hour broadcast is, none of us can save. We can't stop suicide until we stop the first one, until we change the mind of the first one. So we've really got to do something. We've really got to learn how to build and create a conversation. Because one of the worst things in the world is sitting there telling somebody, you know what, I want to listen to you, and the next thing you're doing is you're sitting there with your cell phone typing while they're talking.
Yep. And let me tell you how bad this is getting. I was on live with somebody the other night on TikTok, of all places. It's not just the little kids app they make you think it is. And he was talking about a good friend of his he served with, just checked out, and he went for help. I have a love-hate relationship with the VA, okay, based on what they've fought my dad on, what they did to my father-in-law. I know there's people out there that have had amazing experiences with the VA, and if that's you, God bless you, but most don't. This gentleman was talking about how his friend went, checked himself into the psych ward, said he felt like hurting himself, okay, did what they tell you to do. They kept him there for 72 hours, doped him up, sent him home with some pills and a phone number to call to make an appointment for, like a psych eval. The next appointment they get him in, they said, we'll see you in 4.5 months. They just sent this guy home from saying he felt like hurting himself to your next appointments in 4.5 months. Now, I know there's a lot of amazing people within the VA, but it is a government-run organization, so there's so much red tape and BS that we hear these stories more times than not. That guy decided, well, screw it, and checked out. It shouldn't be one. We need to fix the system. You can't spend your way out of veteran suicide. The government's tried that. The VA's budget, now I know I'm on a tirade here, and I'm sorry, but this makes me mad. The VA's budget is $432 billion, with a B, billion dollars. Yet we got veteran suicide now double what we thought it was. You can't legislate it away. You can't pass laws. You can't give the VA a bigger budget. We need to fix the VA system to where they get the help they need when they need it instead of bureaucratic red tape. If anybody wants to see what socialized healthcare looks like, go spend a couple days at the VA and you'll see it real fast and realize you don't want it. All right. But
I really think it's time that, what we need to take and look, everybody's been preaching accountability for a long time, but it's kind of one of those things where somebody needs to step in. Somebody needs to go and look at places like the VA and go, okay, wait a minute. What in the hell are you putting money here for when you've got people like the story that you just told me? Very tragic, very tragic, very tragic. Even worse, very stupid of anybody to give somebody, and this is something that just drives me crazy. Why are we giving people with problems something that's going to become an addiction?
Yeah. Give them a pill, make them feel better, and then say, we'll see you in 4.5 months. The system itself is broken, but I'll bring it full circle, pardon the pun, to, come back to what we're talking about. This is where nonprofits, private industry, veteran-owned businesses, for-profit businesses need to pick up the ball, run with it, because touchdown is 0 suicides. Okay. but we're going to pick up and run it on this treadmill until we get there. And whether that's through equine therapy or a lot of other great veteran organizations that you and I know very well, or other ones we're affiliated with, big names you'll know out there that are, doing their part to get the job done. We didn't, my dad wore combat boots. I wear cowboy boots. And, but we're boots on the ground every day doing everything we can to help make a difference. It's time to shine a giant floodlight on this problem. Sure, it's not water cooler talk. It ain't beer with your buddies talk. It's a damn difficult conversation to have. Yep. Just like with, everything we're going to be talking about today. It's not easy. It's not easy to look at. It's not easy to talk about. But we got to quit sweeping it under the rug like it doesn't exist. Because what's it going to take? 44 a day now too much? Is 100 a day too much? When's enough going to be enough to where people support organizations like ours and other great ones out there that we've, Zach, you've had here on the show many a times, like Brian's and, what have you, to where we make a difference in the veteran community. I mean, seriously, you guys have heard me say it a million times. When are you going to give a buck about veterans?
Yep.
Right? Give a buck, give two. You got a change jar sitting at home, folks out there. I guarantee if you're like me and you hate carrying change around, you've got a change jar. I know inflation's a mother right now. You hear me say it all the time. It costs me north of $100 to fill up my diesel truck when 2 years ago it was 60. Okay. We get the inflationary pinch. Everybody's got $1 or $2. If I had 1 million people give me $1 each right now, the ripple effect we could make in the veteran community would be immense.
God forbid this happens, but it truly is probably going to take, somebody's going to have to lose somebody before they're really going to start, and we don't want that to happen. The last thing in the world we want is for everybody to have to go through the pain that these families go through, that these friends of these families go through. The people like Brian, you brought up Brian, Stephanie, you also remember Brian from Project Die Hard, getting the phone call from a brother's wife saying he's hanging in the garage. What do I do? It's time we wake up and we do realize, and one of the things that we've been trying to do is, JR, I started thinking about it the other day. Like you said, 1% raises their hand, 1%. Okay. I started thinking about it and I started thinking, oh my God, if only 1% is raising their hand and we're losing 44 a day, how many are we losing on the other 99%? How many are we losing every day just because things right now are so askew? Okay. And I mean, it's truly, truly scary. And so we've created something about something called Recreate the Happy Place, where we're trying to bring all of this around to talk about all these health issues, because it is, look, as much as like you, patriot right here, didn't serve, didn't want to cut my hair, didn't want to get yelled at, so I got married instead. So, and we all know how that went. But now I'm very balding, and
you're still getting yelled at.
Yeah, it's still getting yelled at every day. So, the thing is that look, this has become a problem for everyone. We take a special interest in our veterans because we love our veterans. I do like the way that you said that, they didn't sign up to defend a political party. They signed up to defend and to bring the country, to strengthen the country. And that's something that people need to realize. You don't have
to do it here today to be able to flap your gums on an opposing news channel you don't like, say things you don't agree with. That's what they're doing. Somebody's standing a post and guarding a wall right now to defend the ability to say stupid stuff on TikTok. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what they're defending. And that's what we have to defend, is their ability to come home and adjust, because the military is awesome at teaching you to go kill the bad guy or do whatever your MSO is. They suck at transitioning people out because it's not their job.
Yep.
Their job's not to teach you how to get out. Their job's to teach you how to stay in and keep going to get the bad guy. So it's up to us to fix that problem.
Yep, they've done one hell of a job tearing an individual down from who they are and build them into a weapon.
Yep.
But they have no idea what the hell they're doing to get them back into where society is. So
that's right.
I think that we need to move on from this because we need to bring up the other wonderful thing that you were doing out of another very difficult situation. You guys were 2 miles per hour away from a Category 5. I almost said earthquake.
Felt like it.
Yeah.
I think honestly it probably was Cat 5. I think they just left it at a strong 4 because what's 2 mile an hour? Pedal your bike 2 extra pumps. There's 2 mile an hour. I mean, it's no big deal. Yeah, Hurricane Ian. It's been 101 years since something direct hit Florida this size. And that's saying a lot because we had the 4 and 04, the 4 hurricanes in 6 weeks that came across in 2004. You had 1992, the one that took about half of South Florida off the map. There's been a lot that's come across this state. Folks, right now, South Florida looks like a war zone, and they're coming from a guy who's never seen one. But, picture the worst war movie you ever saw. Right now, that's South Florida. People's houseboats that were lifted off out of the water, off the moorings, that were floating down the road. 13-foot storm surge, and now they're boats in the middle of the road. There are people's businesses and homes where they're clearing doors and all kinds of things that they have no idea where the hell they came from because it's not theirs or anybody in the neighborhood. It's a bad deal. And folks just south of me and all the way down to Fort Myers are needing some serious help right now.
You guys, you and your beautiful bride and your father have put together a campaign to where you guys are going to try to take care and help out our aging veterans, everything from World War II to Korea to even Vietnam veterans. You're also trying to help out our disabled veterans, ones that are coming back. I love bringing this up, JR, because it's something that just proves who you as a person are. If you see somebody else who's needing help, even if they're not a veteran, you're not going to go,
we ain't driving on by going, hey, we'll catch you on the way back. Anybody that needs help right here where I am in Polk County, Florida, Lakeland to be specific, which is halfway between Disney World and Tampa for everybody that needs to figure out where that is. I've got 30,000 veterans right in my backyard. I have World War II, Korea, and Vietnam right here in our backyard community. Okay. There are Florida has a little north of 1.5 million veterans. More than a third of those are in the counties where Ian hit. Okay. They're going to need help. They're needing help right now. I know the storm's passed and it's not news coverage. It moved on to South Carolina, and we pray for those folks that got hit up there as well. Northern Florida, where it started coming around and smacking Daytona and Jacksonville and those kind of things. But we're doing everything we can to put crews of people together to help here, even if it's just buying tarps, and stapling stuff on roofs or buying water, chainsaws, anything that we can do. And we're donating this stuff. The money's going into the community. Okay. I'm not paying myself a big salary for this. It's everything that adds up, right? Chainsaws, fuel and oil for those chainsaws, fuel for my diesel truck and everybody else that comes to volunteer. We're paying to fuel up their truck. We're not paying them. We might buy them pizza and beer or something, or wine. But but we're not, we're trying to put a crew of people together that can go help, whether it's, just here in Polk County and Hillsborough County. I don't know if we'll make it all the way down to Lee County where Fort Myers is. They're trying to honestly keep some people out of there because, there's just a lot to deal with right now. But there is enough within 2 counties of where I'm sitting right now where people need some serious help. Some folks didn't get their power back till yesterday. It was that bad. and food spoiled and, whatever. So they need some help. And the Veterans Ranch wants to lead from the front and help these people out. But we need y'all's help, out there, great Americans watching this, to help us help them.
The other issue is that, you know what, we all lived through the first part of COVID when we saw what happened, and all of a sudden, Charmin decided to go on ahead and run this campaign that, toilet paper is the most important thing in the world. And so everybody was out there buying every little bit of toilet paper. You guys still have that where people are out there hoarding water and doing things that, it's one of the things that drive me crazy about us as a society, that we do that. It's like, you know what, you need to remember there are other people that will die without the stuff that you are hoarding. You always, every news is going to cover that guy who's got a shed full of toilet paper, a shed full of water, whatever it is, and it's sad, but this is one of the things, and like I said, this really shows how much you care about what you're doing. One of the other things that you said is that, they do try to keep people, and I think this is something that people have a misnomer about and people don't think about. Well, JR, why are you only going here and not going here? When we had the floods, they told us, and I worked in a position where I needed to get into all of these areas. They told us, do you live here? Well, no, I'm just work. You need to get in and get out if you're working here, because we don't want you in here if you don't live here. That's the way it goes. They have to protect all the homes because of looting and just danger. There's danger.
Yeah. If you didn't see it, that's going on in South Florida. They've literally arrested pirates, illegal immigrants that are running up on the beach with their boats, trying to go through the houses and everything else. And I will reiterate what Ron DeSantis said the other day, just to remind everybody, we are a big 2A state. We have the YouTube famous Sheriff Grady Judd here in our town, and he's the one that says, when they said, why'd you only shoot him 48 times, he says, because we ran out of bullets. Don't mess with Floridians. You never know what's on the other side of the door. If you try and kick it in, we will defend our stuff. But seriously, I mean, I say that kiddingly and seriously all at the same time. This is the time to come together as Americans, as proud patriots. Okay. It's kind of, to take it back, it's the 9/12 mentality. Okay. 9/11 happened, and holy shit, pardon my bluntness here, but the world got smacked. The world's never been the same since, but we were all Americans on 9/12. That's the mentality, honestly, we need to have every day. But we understand reality here. I understand it's not all peaches, roses, and fluffy bunnies. It's okay to agree to disagree and have civil discourse in the world. But, we need to come together as we are right now. I mean, there's people I follow on TikTok that are down from Georgia, helping people out down there, but they're being told the same thing. Hey, get your job done, get out, go somewhere else, because they can't keep track of everybody that's coming in there. So, and you got to think about something. Polk County has 750,000 people, 300,000 live in Lakeland. Hillsborough County, where Tampa is double that. There's like 1.5 million people just between two counties. And don't get me wrong, I'll go as far as I can go. If I can get a little further south into Manatee County or Sarasota County or something like that, I'll go where I can. But folks, I'm one guy. So I mean, if I said it on our lives when all the storms were going on, if I got to do it by myself, I'll do it, because the mission's just too damn important. We got aging veterans here. I mean, let's think about this, okay? America out there watching this right now, does a 72, 73-year-old Vietnam veteran really need to be out there, even if they're capable? And do they need to be out there by themselves, cleaning out their yard, cutting up trees that fell down? I mean, some of these oak trees, the one that fell in my front yard, it's about 100-year-old oak tree. It's huge.
Yeah.
You'll burn up chainsaws trying to do that by yourself. We need to help the ones. I mean, let's think about it, folks. They raised their right hand. They served us. They served us all. So isn't it something we should do to serve them? And isn't that worth a few bucks? to do that. I mean, we give money to really stupid causes. Let's face it. Okay. That do nothing, nothing. And I'm not going to name them. We've had those conversations offline. I'm not going to name them, but a lot of them are on GFM campaigns. And if you know, and here's the other thing. It's really cool with
the
with
shake
the website.
weight.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. With the website that is going across the screen. Okay. The money comes to us that we can give out there. Number one, it's tax deductible. Okay. Donate $1 and dare me to send you a tax receipt. I will do it, because who the hell couldn't use a tax donation or a tax write-off these days? We get the money in 48 hours. Okay. Unlike the other campaigns that hold on to your money for 45 to 70 days, things are pretty well cleaned up and cleared out by the time you get the money. So the money you donated doesn't go where you think it went. So you donate $5, $10, $15 tonight. This is what, Wednesday? We see the money by Friday, and it'll go on through the weekend and into next week and into however long it takes. We're not stopping this campaign, folks, because these people are going to need help for more than a minute.
This isn't something that's going to be, wiped out in a day or two. This is, there were a lot of things that were truly ripped up. And Stephanie, I really want to bring you in here in a second, but I really got to ask you this, JR, with what one of the things that you said earlier is you were bringing up DeSantis and the sheriff and all that. Is there coalition between I don't know how to say this without being, improper, without half of the country being butthurt and Florida being the state where there's a lot of controversy? Are we taking it out on the people of Florida because of that?
There might be some cases with that. I would say by and large, Americans are going to be Americans. And what I mean by that is there are 26 different states that sent power trucks to the state of Florida to help get power restored. It's still taking a week plus to get power back. Because, I mean, I ain't kidding, folks. Most of Fort Myers, practically half the city needs rebuilt because it got flattened or it's just gone. I mean, yeah, sure. I think there might be some political games being played. But I think by and large, Americans give a damn enough to help fellow Americans. Yeah, sure. We're the freedom state. Ron comes out and says, welcome to Florida, America's new Texas. That pissed off a lot of my Texas friends. But, the point is we kind of are the freedom state. And whether you agree with him or you don't agree with him, this is, again, why we support veterans, because they raised their right hand. These folks didn't ask for this stuff. This thing was supposed to hit Tampa Bay. I mean, it was like dead set on Tampa Bay 48 hours before it went, oh, hey, we're going to take a right turn and hit Punta Gorda and Fort Myers like Charlie did. Just to give everybody the idea of how big this hurricane was, they could fit the entire wind field of Charlie inside the eye of Ian. Okay. I mean, this sucker was huge. And it may not have done as much interior damage the further north it went like Charlie did. But again, I think that was hurricane number 2 in a row in a couple of weeks. So things were kind of weakened a little bit. The damage it's done to Southwest Florida and inland from there, a good friend of mine had to move her horses to some place else because her horses were literally standing in knee-deep water. Yeah. Think about that. Here's this big old horse. Knee-deep water is where that horse was standing. So there's a lot that folks need help with. And how are we going to divide it up? How are we going to decide who to help first? I'm in touch with the Polk County Veterans Council. I'm in touch with a lot of other local organizations to try and see where the needs are, who's calling out for help, who needs their, I'm no construction worker, but, I'll help rebuild a deck. I'll help, whatever. I know how to swing a hammer and work a saw. I'll figure it out. We'll get it done right, but I'll figure it out. And we just want to be there and be some able bodies to help. We keep politics out of it. If the White House, wants to get butthurt over what DeSantis is doing and whatever, and they withhold some things, well, that's between them. We're here and everybody else is here to serve the great Americans that quite honestly moved. A lot of times, this is somebody's first hurricane.
Yeah.
So many people have moved to Florida since 2017, 2018, the last 2 hurricanes that hit here, that we picked up a congressional seat after the last census. You got to have a lot of people move to a state to pick up a congressional seat. Okay, so a lot of times this was their first storm, and they weren't necessarily as prepared.
Yeah, me personally, I know of 8 families that have moved to Florida. And I was joking about it the other day, is that Californians moved to Colorado and we moved to Florida. So that's kind of the way it's going. We've got California coming in and we're like, oh, hell no. And we go, they're moving to Florida. I am moving to Florida.
Yeah,
Brother, I love you, but I am
sometimes you're skipping Texas and coming straight to Florida.
Yeah. So, and by the way, I can swing a hammer too. I can miss a lot, but I can swing a hammer. So
yeah,
Stephanie,
I've gotten the thumbs before.
Yeah, Stephanie, let's bring you in and let's talk about how we are going to help JR.
Absolutely. That was awesome, JR. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Well, I'm going to start off by saying for every 2 cases of wine, approximately, we're going to raise about $50 through One Hope. That means 75 because I'll be donating an additional 25 for every 50 we raise. So you guys, the holidays are coming. If you're watching this for the first time, check out the site. Zach will put it up in a second. There is a link directly to the fundraiser for this cause. Varietals for every pallet, gifts, all kinds of things. There's a great flash sale that's going on right now as well. Let's link arms. This is unlimited. We can share this around. Doesn't cost anything to share. Share with your family, friends, all of the wine lovers in your life, because there's certainly refills, gifts, and all kinds of things for all the occasions that are coming up in the coming months. And why not, have the table wine for your Thanksgiving meal, give back to the Veterans Ranch, right? So just wanted to kind of put that into perspective.
We've got Halloween parties coming up in a couple weeks.
Right. I mean, adults need some trick-or-treating too,
Yeah.
And we've got really fun minis for those adult trick-or-treaters also. So just know that anything purchased through that link is going to donate back 10% of any purchase. So like I said, every 2 cases approximately is going to get us to that threshold where I'm going to be donating directly to JR's website that he just shared. So the funds are getting to them right away, boots on the ground where they need it, for the supplies and all the things. So let's see how far this campaign can reach because they need the help now. So that's my intro to this, but I'm happy to share about who I am and what I do. Hey there. So if you're watching this for the first time, my name is Stephanie Simoes. I introduced myself briefly before, but what I do is I specialize in fundraising, gifting, private wine events, and wine delivery. This is our busiest time of year. We sell the most amount of wine in the next few months. So, have your wine for the holidays make a difference. So we are a cause-centered winery out of Napa Valley. Every single bottle gives back. We've donated to over 32,000 different nonprofit organizations locally and globally. And to date, we've donated over $8.6 million.
That number is so fantastic. Every time that you say that, I get a chill. I truly do.
Every time it goes up a notch, I have to update it. So I'm giving everyone the most up-to-date information. Certainly, if you are not a part of our campaign on Facebook, if you look up Community Pay It Forward, One Hope Fundraiser, there is a page there that you can join. Our monthly campaigns are always posted there. The information right to JR's fundraiser is pinned to the top of that page. It's a fun group to join just to share some recipes, wines, see different seasonal things that are being highlighted and updates on the impact as well. So if you're not on that page, certainly join us there. But through One Hope, our main pillars of giving are for clean water, hunger, health, and education. JR, we've done a lot with Team Rubicon as well. Our veterans are a part of One Hope for sure. And we have some of the most incredible winemakers in the industry. While the focus is the fundraising, that you're getting an incredible product Robert Mondavi Jr., Tony Coltrane, Mari Wells-Coyle, all coming from major wine companies in the industry. You're probably familiar with the Mondavi name if you're a wine drinker. Tony Coltrane is from Opus One. Mari Wells-Coyle, we are so lucky. She's our head winemaker. She came over from Sterling Vineyards, really because she believed in the mission with One Hope and the Give Back. So for those that do ask, we are a private wine label. Our winemakers do make our wine. It's actually harvest season. So they are harvesting grapes right now and making all kinds of goodness back at the winery in Napa. But it's special because we are the only Napa Valley winery with more than 5 90+ point rated wines for under $25. And that's really huge. And just know that every single one of those is actually giving back twice, once to the One Hope Foundation, and then in addition to the Veterans Ranch. So really simple too. You don't have to be in Florida or Colorado or, myself over here in Pennsylvania. We ship to 46 states across the US. So no matter where you are located, you can support this cause and be able to make an impact too. So I know you were going to be sipping on something, Zach, tonight. Are you opening that, or are we just diving in here and you're going to pass?
Oh no! I'm gonna open it. I'm working to try to get some of our great things out on the comments. The first comment that you're going to see is our Facebook group. It's the one that Stephanie was just talking about. And you've really got to check out this Facebook group, because we have, and this is one of the coolest things that we have about this, we have a lot of our past missions, including JR, who has utilized this page to bring up some of the great things they do. And so you get to keep up with a lot of the people that we've been attempting to help this whole time. And you can see this. And then you have Stephanie bringing in wonderful wines and wonderful recipes and pairings and all kinds of great things. And then you have me bringing in, well, me. So that's pretty much it. But I love this page, because we have turned a simple concept into something that is really bringing together groups of people doing great things. So the second thing I put in the chat is the GiveSendGo.com link, to where you can give directly to the Veterans Ranch. Okay, I want to make this very, 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 very clear. When you use this GiveSendGo.com, you are not sending money to Community Pay It Forward. We are not taking a dime of this money. We don't want a dime of this money. We want every penny of it to go to JR. We're not going to try to take and ask you to send us money to send to him, because all we're going to be doing is doubling up on all the fees and all that other stuff. Give, Send, Go was created by JR, and we are just making sure that you guys know about it, because it's that important to get that money to them. If you want to help them through the Community Pay It Forward program, right here, my little friend, the QR code, that's how you do it. You shop with one of our great partners, and shop, pick, and click. That's all it is. Shop, click, and pick. Yeah, hey.
Close enough for government work.
The shiny squirrel got a hold of me there and was biting me on the nose. So shop with one of our partners, click a picture of the proof of purchase, and pick your cause right now. It's going to be the Veterans Ranch, the Veterans Ranch Hurricane Relief. And then I'm going to remove the banner right now from the picture. This QR code right here on the picture, the one that Stephanie has beautifully put together, that is how you order your wines. And like Stephanie was saying, there is not at all a lack of reasons for wines right now. Autumn's coming back, fall is here. You know, beautiful to sit outside, open up a glass of wine, a bottle of wine, sit out there with the near your fire pit, unless you're in Colorado, because you know we can't have fires right now. But you know, it's a beautiful thing to do, a great way to bring each other together. So, Stephanie, are you going to be introducing us to any wines tonight?
I do have some new wines to share with you. And just to kind of piggyback off of what you were just saying, Zach, we do have a flash sale that was just dropped today. All of our mix packs are 20% off, and that stacks with the other discounts. So that's a flash sale. It's for a limited time, just through October 11th. But whether you're a host this holiday season, gifting, or you just drink wine, there's a pack for you. There's something in those packs for you, and there's a variety to choose from. So definitely check those out. In addition, there are early bird specials for those who are gifting this holiday season. So connect with me, because depending upon the amount of gifts you need, there are additional discounts this month as well there. But I would love to introduce you to our new collection that was just launched, if you're open to it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Awesome.
As I try not to take my eye out with this. And how do you say it? Fraise?
The Frizzante. So you're sampling a sweeter, not bubbly, but almost a fizzy, sweet red wine. And I know you're on the sweeter side with your varietal, Zach. So I'm glad you're sampling that one tonight. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to share with you. So I actually have the Chardonnay here. So I have 3 wines of our new love language collection. These labels are absolutely beautiful.
I didn't die.
Oh goodness. You did okay opening that one. It didn't go everywhere.
No, it didn't. I was even able to get it out of there without the pop that scares the hell out of me. So
I love it. So this is our new love language collection. You'll see this on our website. Beautiful new labels, eco-friendly glass. So this glass is lighter than our other collections. We're really moving in a direction with trying to, save on fuel. These get delivered across the country, right? So if they're lighter, it's saving, in all kinds of places. So just moving in that direction. I know I've mentioned here too, with the winery, we're really trying to make everything sustainable, collecting rainwater to water the vines. We are officially certified organic. I don't remember if I announced that last time.
No.
We've always had organic practices, always. But we have the official paperwork of being certified organic now, which is really great.
Congratulations.
But I'll just dive in and tell you about the new love language collection. So this is the Chardonnay. This unoaked Chardonnay features notes of lemon bar, pineapple skin, and white flower. For some food pairings, serve this bottle alongside rich cheeses, fish and chips, and crisp kale salad. So this is an off-dry, light-bodied wine. Definitely check this one out. I love that we've had some really great new releases and some new wines to be able to share with you the last few times we've connected. So perfect. Next up would be our love language rosé. This light-bodied rosé features notes of violet, candy, raspberry, and rose. For a food pairing, serve this bottle alongside blood orange salad, ahi tuna, and salty chips. Chips are also great with the sparkling brewed, I have to say. I like chips with that.
Did you just say candy?
Yes. So this is on the
Halloween.
sweeter side. With the yes. And I will certainly, now that you said that, Zach, I will post some wine and candy pairings in that group for Halloween, with some different candies, some different chocolates, and some suggestions there. And would love to see if anybody's following along and sampling those and leaving feedback on the page for us too. Right there.
So that kind of leans into the White Zinfandel kind of range there with that one.
So on the sweeter side for the rosés, yes, with this one, our sparkling rosé is also sweeter than our Vintner collection. as well as our Bloom Rosé. So we have a few different rosé varietals in different collections right now. Some are a bit
That
drier.
leans my wife's direction, so.
Yeah, and some are a little bit more on the sweeter side. The Bloom Rosé, some have compared it to like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. Not, in my opinion, it's not like a Moscato, but it's sweet for a rosé, and people are really enjoying that one. So,
okay,
yeah. And so this is our new love language red wine blend. Red blend, medium-bodied red wine. This is definitely going to be sweeter than the red blend in our Vintner collection if you've tried that before. Notes of cherry cola, allspice, and red fruit. For a culinary pairing, serve this bottle alongside roasted red pepper pizza, empanadas. We love those around here, and beet hummus. So it is an off-dry, medium-bodied red wine. Any questions about any of that? How do you like that frizzante, Zach? I have to ask. You're sampling.
I got to be honest with you. This is really good because it's not as it doesn't taste as wine. You know how wine has that very specific taste. It doesn't have that heavy wine taste that a lot of them do. So it's really, I mean, it's not the bubbly bubble champagne taste. And I know that's a bad word because we're not in Champagne, but it does not have but it doesn't have that taste. So yeah, it's actually very tasty.
It's almost nice, a fizz. It's not a bubbly. It's almost a fizz. It's got a little bit in there, but it's not quite like bubbly like a champagne or a sparkling brut. Yeah.
So, but not so sweet like a port, like a dessert wine, but very enjoyable still.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not. I drink a low alcohol blueberry wine a lot of times. It's not overly fruity. It actually, if anything, it has more of the taste of like regular fruit, to where it's not, all sugared up, and I don't feel like I'm going to go and.
Well, I will say any residual sugar just comes from the grapes. There are no additives in our wine at all. But JR, back to your port question, we do have a port style wine in our portfolio, which is very different from what he's drinking right now. The port style wines, you can sample just a little bit because they're super sweet and super rich, paired alongside with some dessert. And some really, really enjoy that. But what Zach is drinking, you can actually drink a full glass and be okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, me personally, I lean more in the Merlot to a Malbec because I love a good hearty steak. Go figure. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy, right?
I would never.
I mean, it's like when they say what kind of pizza you want, it's like how many meats can you put on it before the crust just collapses? A good hearty steak, those kind of things. So I lean into the heavier stuff.
A really delicious Argentinian Malbec. That's actually one of my red favorites.
It is very good. That is a very, very good one. Yes.
I find that the tasting profile is different than any other wine that we have on our website right now. Like it's just different flavors. I really enjoy that one. But if you like a good steak, you should try some of the Cabernet. Even the Vintner Collection Cabernet is delicious. I mean, my husband's the steak guy. I can do a bacon cheeseburger and be really happy with a Cabernet. So
see, when you said kale salad, I looked at JR. I was expecting him to be going, all excited and everything, but
no.
Yeah, in this house, we hear the word salad and like, wait, that's what food eats.
I understand. We have a smoker that we enjoy a lot, with our meats around here. And so I would lean more towards we have several different Cabernet varietals on the website. The red blends are you probably don't want this one. This is a little bit on the sweeter side, but I'd go with the Vintner Red Blend, which is mostly Cabernet, Merlot, and Red Zinfandel in the blend. And I think that you'd really enjoy that.
Yeah. That would be tasty. Yeah, I mean, I am, I might be I have more of the refined palate than most people would think. Yes, I enjoy a good Budweiser and quite a few of them from time to time. But, I really got into the not just enjoying wine for the sake of enjoying wine, but I also am pretty darn handy in the kitchen. So
I love
yeah,
it.
so the pairing, I really enjoy. Sure, sometimes it's just good to crack open a bottle and just go to town and have fun. But that when you pair certain things, it helps enhance the flavors of not only the wine but the food, and that excites me how that works well together. So yeah, this cowboy does have a little bit of a refined side to him as well.
Hey,
Yeah, you should have seen him the other day as he was watching a meatloaf. I mean, he was all into it. So
it creates that whole experience, that experience in the home with whoever you're sharing the meal with, all of the things. So
yeah, that's really the key. It is another coming together kind of thing. I always say, it's a different type of drink, but I always say a good scotch and a cigar always, brings people around, that because scotch is an acquired taste, but that kind of thing, it just brings people around, and wine does the same thing. It just it in a different way, but it's always fun.
I love it. Yeah, definitely brings people together for sure.
Yeah.
If anyone is watching this replay and has any questions, would like any recommendations, because I know we did talk about a few different things here, not just the 3 wines, but there was a lot of great discussion here. Definitely reach out. I'm happy to share my recommendations based on what you typically like to drink. I always like to share about our wine club, though, because I believe that it's one of the best things that we have to offer on the website. There is no cost to joining. You can give back with every single wine shipment to your selected charity of choice. So donate to the Veterans Ranch, send that donation to JR. You can continue that, with every shipment throughout the year, and it's flexible too. There's free shipping, automatic discounts on all of your wine purchases, wine credits that you get to use to shop for more wine with your next order, access to exclusive wines, and you have the choice to build your own box, whether you like red, white, sparkling, rosé, whatever it is that you enjoy. You can build your own box, 4, 6, or 12, however you would like. Or if you're one of those that says, you know what, I want to go with the winemaker's picks. What's seasonal? You can go with Mari's picks and go in that direction as well. We do offer a lot for the upcoming holidays. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to help with that. I will also post that information in the group. Zach, were you going to ask a question? Jump in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, along with the regular size wine boxes, you also have.
Yeah, so we do have we have minis on our website. This is a sparkling brut, but we also have Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Cabernet. These are a lot of fun. Like I was saying earlier, for those adult trick-or-treaters, I know I personally, around the holidays, all of my delivery drivers, my mail lady, everybody gets some wine. That's, servicing my house. That's a fun gift to be able to just easily pop out. Think teachers, kids are back to school. You're doing some.
They need to get drunk.
You beat me to it, brother. You beat me to it.
My goodness, but I would love to share with you guys. Actually, I'm going to pull this from back here. We also have our Cabernet and our Chardonnay where we can do custom labels as well for the holidays. So this one is a cheers and a quick note here with a logo. So if you do corporate gifting or, just want to send some personalized messages this holiday season, we do have that option in the Cabernet and the Chardonnay. And because I had this made up, just to show you all, this is our single wood box where you get to select the design and any wine that you would like to come in the box as well. I actually had this Cabernet is what came in this box, personalized, but we do have other personalized options for logos and certain celebrations, weddings, all the things. So definitely reach out. There is something for every budget that I can work with.
You also, in which you've got one over your shoulder, but I'm going to show mine instead. You've also got beautiful etched and sparkle wines. This is one that somebody sent us for our wedding. And it just says happily ever after. One hope, and it's a beautiful bottle, and it's great for celebrations, like, oh, I don't know, maybe a wedding or something, maybe for celebrating somebody doing some great work, like Mr. JR and the Veterans Ranch. Maybe somebody should take and hook them up and help them out because of the great work that they're doing. So, but let's just make sure that you make these count. Show up. Can you show that box again?
Yeah, absolutely. So it says One Hope on the one side. This is a single etched wood box. There's no specific quantity that is needed for these also. So if you only need one gift to go out, we can do it for you. And you get to select the wine that you'd like to go in the box as well. So, I personally went with the custom label with the Cabernet, but if you wanted a different wine in the box, let's say your recipient likes bubbly or rosé or a sweet wine, we have those options also.
I'm just thinking along the lines of, let's say, a real estate agent.
Correct. So with the bottle that you actually just showed, Zach, we do have that version in a home sweet home bottle is what the etching is. Real estate agents love that bottle. Those are available on our website, but we can also personalize them with logos. So think about your regular client gifts being able to give back to your favorite organizations at the same time. It's a win-win, or a win wine, as I like to call it. But yeah, thank you for that. And I'm glad you enjoyed. In those etched shimmer is the bubbly that Zach got to enjoy for his celebration over there. So I'm glad you guys got to enjoy that.
Yeah, and it was amazing because we also got to tell the story of how this all began, and this began as a conversation that was created by my twin brother, and he said, you need to meet Stephanie, and I was like, okay, great. And my identical twin brother, and and so we were like, you're right. And Stephanie and I had a conversation, and it went from where we didn't know how we were going to work together to, hey, let's do this and celebrate nonprofits every month by bringing them to the forefront. So, Stephanie, you guys also have a wonderful, wonderful program to where you're asking people to take your job. Maybe not take your job, but
well, I will say, yeah. So I will say this: we didn't get to $8.6 million donated just by me doing wine events with Zach. Right? Not just our monthly campaign. I can only be in so many places every single month. The more of us there are that are fundraising year round, the bigger the impact we're going to make. So if you are super passionate about the Veterans Ranch and you're like, I want to dive in, I want to help them, you can actually help them fundraise year round, just like I partner with nonprofits like this, on a regular basis. So it's really, it fills your cup. You get to see the impact going out every month, and it truly does.
One of the other great things that we announced, that you announced the last time that we were together, is that now, because of what we have done by introducing the Veterans Ranch to you guys in One Hope Wines, now the Veterans Ranch is always going to be an
offer. Right. So when you come in as a customer with One Hope, you get to select your charity of choice. And that selection stays unless you decide to switch it out. It is flexible. So let's say you do have two organizations you really love. You can, do one shipment to support one and then swap out for the other. However, you can set it and forget it and be a member of the wine club. And let's say you get quarterly shipments throughout the year. Every time you get that refill, you're making an impact for the charity that you love as well. So that's something that's within the customer account. They get to select it, save it, and boom, any purchases from there on get to donate back.
Well, I just, like I've said this so many times, Stephanie, I cannot thank you enough for what you've brought to this whole idea,
We're
because
better together, Zach.
yeah,
We're better together.
that is true. But I'm going to tell you something. Your sparkly, bubbly personality makes everything great. You being the goddess of the grape, it's so nice. Learning about wine, you know, and like I said, during our wedding, I got to not only create the cheers, but I also got to talk about, what we do. And I even pulled out the name Mondavi, and it was like, how in the hell does this guy know what he's talking about?
You've
Well,
heard me say it so many
I've
times.
heard you
I'm rubbing
say
off on
it. Yeah,
You got
you know,
educated.
yeah, I can pair it better than a lot of people. So I mean, it was great. But I want to thank you, Stephanie, again for joining us, and then Jr. I want to give you one last chance. Give the last word for whatever you got to say. Let's give the floor to you, and let's talk to people about what you're needing.
Well, and again, thank you both so much for your continued love, support, encouragement. Because there are days we all know, right, where your hat gets down a little bit. Like, does anybody, give a what about, what's going on in the nation? Not just what we're doing, but just people in general. Um, we're just asking for your help. Every dollar matters. It's tax deductible. It's going to a good cause. I don't know what else I could throw in there. You're going to get some wine and you can donate, you're going to get some wine. So you'll feel good making the donation. You're going to feel better when you get the wine after you drink it. I mean, come on, it's a twofer. But, seriously, givesendgo.com/the Veterans Ranch. You can see the page. You can make a donation. You can send out prayers as well. Give Send Go is a faith-based, family-run organization. So, thoughts, prayers, everything needed. But cash is what makes the world go round, folks. It's not the love of money. Okay, we're not doing that. But my good looks isn't buying a tarp. And that means there's nothing being purchased with my looks. So let's jump on that page. Let's use the QR code and help support Zach. Let's buy some wine, because it all helps, folks. Two minds, when you said, we're all better together, I always say two minds make a third more powerful mind. Let's all come together. Let's help each other out and know that you're going to be helping fellow Americans get back on their feet, because this is probably going to be, good Lord, probably a 2-year process. I mean, now we're already dealing with a supply chain issue. And now we have cities that are just demoralized and demolished and, whatever. And now plywood's going to be at a premium. I mean, a sheet of plywood's worth as much as my truck now anyway. And now those prices are going to go up because of the demand. These folks are going to need some help. This is a long-term thing for us. This isn't a 1 week and it's done and over with. We're going to keep talking about this. We're going to keep talking about the Veterans Ranch, because our veterans and our fellow Americans need help, and they need everybody's help out there today, folks. There are 180 million working age people out there in this great country right now. Okay. Every dollar helps. I'm not asking for $180 million. I'm just saying there's enough people out there that can give $1 here, $2 there, $10 there. If you can give more, God bless you. But everything matters. We put no man above another. I appreciate the dollar as much as I would 100 or more. All right. Because I know sometimes that may have been all you had. And if that's all you have and you give it, God bless you. So please help us today so we can help serve the ones that served us all.
One of the other things that I really want to bring up here is that the Veterans Ranch is very important in this, because as we know, the numbers are rising with veteran suicide. There are people who lost everything. There are going to be issues with people thinking, well, this is it. I'm done. This is where the Veterans Ranch can really step in and help people out. It's just one more place that, the Veterans Ranch can really step in. So, I mean, please make sure that you go to theveteransranch.org and check it out. Okay, see what they do. Because not only is JR going to be working to build aging veterans, rebuild them up there, he's also going to be doubling down because you know what? He's going to have his ranch open. They're going to be trying to take care of these veterans they're going to need a pick me up now. Okay. Because look, this was devastating. The last I heard, and this was a mistake on my part. I didn't check on it today, but I heard this number yesterday. There were 83 lives lost. And that was just yesterday. We don't know how many more.
I think it's a tick. I think it's sadly a tick higher now, but one was too many. So yeah, you're talking at one point it was 2.1 million without power. I think one of our advisory board members in Jacksonville just got her power back over the weekend. And this puppy came through early in the week. You're right on point, Zach. There's a lot of things people are going to be dealing with. This is especially for people in Southwest Florida, but there's going to be a whole new level of PTS here that, that again, they haven't had this happen to them ever or in a very long time. And yeah, the thought of, you know what, I'm done, I'm checking out could exist. I'm sure it probably has existed already. We just haven't heard about it yet. Folks, the problem happens every day. Don't wait till you hear it on the news to think it's all of a sudden an issue, because by the time it hits the news, they're doing it for ratings. And that means a lot more have gone on that aren't making the news. So please help today.
I also want to make one more point to that. If you hear of somebody talking and you can tell that there's something wrong, don't brush it off like it's going to go away. This problem doesn't go away.
They've made the crisis hotline even easier, folks. Instead of having to memorize this long 800 number that made no sense. Now, if you out there are thinking that, this might be it, who cares, for whatever the reason might be. If you're a veteran, 1 in 4 children in the last 2 years since COVID have thought about suicide. 988. And if you're a veteran, press 1. So 988. And if you're a veteran, press 1. Ask for the help. It's okay to not be okay. But, don't let your family try and wonder what they could have done different or why, the guilt and the problems that cause later after you're gone. Trust me, somebody here on this planet needs to know what you know. They need to learn from you. You matter. So please, 988, press 1 if you're a veteran. Anybody in the South Florida area, again, 988. If you're having any kind of issues, reach out to someone today and get the help you deserve.
And if you don't feel like you are ready to listen to somebody's story, there's nothing wrong with that. But please reach out to us, reach out to JR, reach out to Stephanie. Uh-oh, what happened there? Reach out to somebody because they need to talk to somebody. You might not be able to listen to what they have to say. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody is built to listen to something as, not everybody's built to listen to it. But there are people out there who can help you save lives. Let's pay attention to what's going on to our veterans. Let's pay attention to what's going on to each other. And let's make sure that we're here for each other. So, Stephanie, one last time, sweetie, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure. So definitely join the community Pay It Forward One Hope fundraiser on Facebook, because that's a public event that's ongoing. So you can certainly reach out to me there with the link tree that you just had up. All of my socials are there, as well as my email. So you can definitely reach out to me there as well.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much. JR, give us your information.
You can, our main website, theveteransranch.org. You can always hit us at contact@theveteransranch.org and email us. Phone numbers are on the website and everything else. there's all different kinds of ways. We're on every social out there, and some y'all probably haven't even heard of. Search the Veterans Ranch. You'll find us. Get out, reach out to us. And again, if you want to volunteer, when we've got this ready to go, as Zach said in the beginning, we had $50 put in this thing so far. There's a quarter tank of gas. But, when we got this, stocked up, we're ready to rock and roll, we're going to need some help. And if you've got that giver's gain mentality and you want to help, reach out to us through the website, and, we'll get some crews together.
You may not believe it, but $1 will go a long way.
Yep.
So just remember,
if you look over my shoulder here, you see Bucky back there in the background. Y'all have seen him on social media posts. Bucky asks people to give $1 about a situation and make a difference.
That's right. I mean, $1 is a dollar we didn't have yesterday. So just remember, share what you got. I appreciate both of you very, very much. Stephanie, it's great to be back. I am so sorry that we didn't connect when you were just miles away. We could have connected and drank wine together, but no, somebody had to go and get sick.
We'll be back. Don't worry. We'll have another opportunity for sure, but I'm glad we were able to connect for October.
You know what? One of these days, we got to have one hell of a party bringing together all these great causes that we're trying to help. I think that sounds fun. So, when wine's involved, it's going to be fun. So, but I want to thank you both again. JR, all the best of luck. We will see you guys in about 2 weeks, and we can do this again. And JR, I'm really hoping that we have great updates and we've got the ball running and things are working. And I'm hoping that we've got many, many bottles of wine sold to be helping people out. But thank you both.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Nice seeing you, JR. Thank you all for joining. And thank you, Zach, for having me.
Well, like I said, it's a great pleasure to be back doing what we started doing a long time ago. This is so much fun for me. So, but all right. We will be back in just a couple minutes, and I've got the professor joining us again, talking about a couple of his books. So please stick with us and learn more about how soft skills are better than hard skills. Who knew? So thank you both.
Cheers.
So, as I mentioned before, we've got Professor Rao, who's joining us again. He joined us a couple weeks ago and was talking about some of his books. If you do not remember, he contracted COVID, and the COVID brought on a stroke. And so now he suffers from palsy in his right side, and things are a little more difficult, but he can no longer go out and do a lot of speaking. He does a lot of great other things though, with his being an author. Once again, I do apologize. He is a little bit the difference in language is a little bit difficult to understand, but you know what? It's still, if you listen carefully, he's got a great story. I bring up later on one of the things that was said about one of his books, and I think it's fantastic because it's one of the books that every business person has been instructed to read with um, how to influence people and or how to make friends and influence people. The book was written in the early 1900s, and so his book, which is Soft Leadership, and no, this isn't the book. I just cheated. This is just a paper cover of his book. But Soft Leadership was compared to that book. That's something special because, like I said, every business person has been told to read that book, digest that book, and learn from that book. So, again, I think it is. I really do. I think it's something that that it's telling on how important that book is. So, but this is Professor Rao. This is an interview that we did earlier this afternoon, as you can well tell, because you know that guy's dressed a lot like me. So, but please enjoy this, and we'll be back in a little bit. Professor M.S. Rao, and I've got my dog trying to take my paperwork off the table. Silly dog. So, who's going to be talking to us about two of his books, Soft Skills, Towards a Sanctimonious Discipline Globally, and Soft Leadership, The New Direction to Leadership. So, how are you doing today, Professor?
Yeah, I'm doing good. First of all, let me share it with you that I was lucky to be alive after the brain stroke in the year 2021, and I'm recovering because of my positive psychology and because of my willpower and because of the power of my subconscious mind. My right hand was numb.
Yep.
It was paralyzed. I'm gradually recovering, and I was born in a toxic family and grew up into a toxic environment. I have mental challenges, physical challenges, and financial challenges. Now, I would like to talk about two books. So let me talk about one book that is Soft Skills.
Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah, this is the book. Okay. This book is all about, I have other 50 books. Out of 50 books, 10 books I have published about soft skills alone. That's first point. And this book is the title of this book is Soft Skills Toward a Sanctimonious Discipline Globally. This is the book, okay, which I am going to talk about. This book is very close to my heart. Why? Because people don't know about much about the soft skills globally. So I just wanted to do research about soft skills. Then I earned my PhD in soft skills in the year 2011. Then I started writing books, and around 10 books have been published. So this is the book, the latest one. This book is both uh, scholarly and then practitioner oriented one because I am from a military background. So I can do things from uh, practical perspective, and I also talk about scholarly perspective because I'm a researcher and I have published several research papers. More than 100 research papers have been published globally, especially on eminent journals like Emerald. So this book, uh, uh, the title is Soft Skills Toward a Sanctimonious Discipline Globally. Uh, for this book, Chester Elton has written a foreword. He's a very good friend of mine. And this book I have dedicated to my friend Dave Aldrich. uh, uh, is also a very good friend of mine. And Dave Ulrich is known as the father of. I think you can see this. Okay, so he's known as the father of modern HR. So I have dedicated this book to Dave Ulrich and his wife Wendy Ulrich and Ulrich family. So this is about book. Now coming to this soft skills are all about personality and attitude and behavior. People think soft skills means people are very soft, so it is soft skills. So it's not in that way. Because whenever I conducted training programs, uh, so sometimes they talked about gender, sometimes they talk that people are very soft. Then I told that it's not the way to define about soft skills, because soft skills is a very new area, and I explored, and more than 50 books I have been published. So this soft skills is basically about your personality, attitude, and behavior. This is different from hard skills. Hard skills are all about technical skills and domain skills. So we need to blend both soft skills and hard skills to achieve career success. And the soft skills are very much required. People think, it's only they are required only at the lower level. They are required at all levels, like lower level management, middle management, top level. It's more required. Once you reach higher positions, you have to emphasize more on soft skills and less on technical skills, because CEOs, they work with soft skills. Initially, they start with the technical knowledge, but as they grow, they reach the higher levels. So they emphasize more on soft skills. This is briefly about soft skills.
So are soft skills more along the lines of personality and hard skills are more along the lines of talent?
See, you can put it in that way, but soft skills are there are three areas. One is personality, attitude, and behavior. These three are the pillars of this soft skills. Okay. Now let me, when we talk about domain skills or technical skills, uh, talent is a subset of what is it called, hard skills. So this domain skills means technical knowledge. For example, if you are a doctor, so you are having a technical knowledge, right? If you're an actor, you're having a technical knowledge. But how you put that knowledge across, so that requires soft skills. So soft skills are all about conveying the technical expertise, professional backgrounds, all those things. How you put it across. So that is known as soft skills.
Okay. Um, Give me an example of when it's best to use your soft skills.
Soft skills are required every field. It's not confined to one particular area. For example, I'll tell you, people say, sometimes people say somebody is physically handicapped. That is a hard skill. But you can say it in that way, in a polite and pleasing manner. You can say that, what is that called? Not physically handicapped, you can say that physically challenging.
Okay.
Physically challenged. So if you say physically handicapped, so that sounds like a hard skill. Same thing you can put in the in this way as uh, 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 physically challenged. So that is the difference between this hard skill and soft skills. So let me share it with you a simple example. Uh, uh, One of the what is that called, on Air Force pilot, okay, uh, the aircraft that is we call aeroplane or whatever it is, military aircraft, whatever it is, that was crashed. So then the officer has told at the top, to this pilot. So then the pilot got worried that you'll be fired and you'll be punished by the military officer at the top. Then the senior officer, the military officer, has told to this young pilot and pilot officer that, uh, hey man, because of you, you have taught a lesson to us. So that's what he has told. It all depends on how you communicate. That is soft skills, right?
Okay.
Soft skills are all about how you put it across in a positive and pleasing aspect. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay. And how does this, how do you collate? And now we can move on to your other book, Soft Leadership. How do you collate soft skills to soft leadership? Because you have your other book right here. How do we collate the two and get to use your um your teaching of soft skills? How do you do that onto soft leadership?
This, as I told you, I earned my PhD in soft skills in the year 2011 by doing research. Then I have published a couple of books on soft skills. Then, since I am from a military background and I am passionate about leadership, then I blended soft skills with leadership and coined this concept known as soft leadership. This is the origin of soft leadership, right?
Yeah.
And this soft leadership is why I coined this new perspective. Why? Because when I was conducting training programs for more than a decade, so the audiences they asked questions, sir. The prevailing leadership styles are not working, so you explore something new so that because the next generation, especially young generation and leaders, they are craving for new leadership perspective. Then I thought, why not to explore a new leadership perspective that is known as soft leadership. So I blended soft skills with the soft leadership and coined this new perspective known as soft leadership. This is the origin. Even I have published 6 books on soft leadership. So I'll show you one of the books. So this is a book on soft leadership. Uh, the beauty of this book is that uh, the soft leadership, a new direction to leadership, is a book that I have dedicated to Peter Drucker, who is known as the father of modern management and the father of modern marketing. Philip Kotler has written a foreword for this book. Okay, then the father of modern HR, Dave Ulrich, has created a leadership framework for soft leadership. So these are the three things. And fourth thing is that I am known as the father of soft leadership globally because I published a couple of research papers on soft leadership. So these are the hallmarks of this soft leadership. And this soft leadership can be used to achieve organizational excellence and effectiveness. That's one thing. And the soft leadership can be used by countries to achieve peace and prosperities. So this concept, this new perspective can be used in many for both for countries and also for organizations. So this is briefly about soft leadership and the young people, especially millennials and centennials, are focusing more on the soft leadership. Why? Because these millennials and centennials, they are craving for new leadership style, and so they are looking for partners, not bosses or subordinates. So the new leadership perspective, that is soft leadership, emphasize on equality, There is nothing like bosses. There is nothing like subordinates. We are all partners for progress. That's what is the one which is widely appreciated. And in the years to come, we must emphasize on soft leadership.
Okay, Mr. Peter F. Drucker says that leadership is not a magnetic personality that can just as well be glib tongue. It's not making friends and influencing people. That is flattery. Leadership is lifting a person's vision to a higher sight and raising a person's performance to a higher standard, the building of personality beyond its normal limitations. We get taught in America that one of the greatest books that everybody needs to read is leadership, or I'm sorry, is influencing, making friends and influencing people. Almost every business person has read that book. So this is somebody who's saying that, you know what, you ought to put that book down and pick up soft leadership. How did you meet Mr. Drucker?
I couldn't understand your question. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you met Peter Drucker. I think that what he said about your book is inspirational, and I think that what he said is really telling about what you're trying to get across.
Okay. So let me share it with you the fact that I am a follower of Peter Drucker. In the year 1991, when I was doing MBA,
Mm-hmm.
Master of Business Administration in India, then I came across Peter Drucker. Then I was deeply influenced by Peter Drucker. I never had any opportunity to meet him physically, but I admire him, his work on management. That is the reason why I have dedicated this book to Peter Drucker. But I have no physical. I am no way connected with Peter Drucker physically or personally. But I draw inspiration from Peter Drucker because I admire him a lot.
Yep. Well, I just want to read this this part too. I'm not going to read the entire back cover, but this is really interesting. This book introduces soft leadership and explains the 11 C's associated with this: concept, character, charisma, concise, conviction, courage, communication, compassion, commitment, consistency, consideration, and contribution. And this is the part I find really interesting: using inspiring examples of international leaders, including Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., uh, Aung San Suu
Aung
Kyi,
San Suu Kyi, yeah,
okay,
Nobel laureate,
right,
Nobel laureate.
Nelson Mandela, and the Dalai Lama.
Uh,
That's a group of pretty good people to be taking examples from, don't you think?
Yeah, they are all very inspiring leaders. And sometimes I write about these leaders because these leaders are basically soft leaders. Again, let us not get confused that soft leaders are the leaders. They don't care for a task orientation. So leadership, soft leadership is all about people orientation without compromising task orientation. Okay, so these leaders are they walked their talk and they led by example and by caring for the people. At the same time, they executed the tasks effectively. So that is the main thing, whether it's a Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela, Aung San Suu Kyi. She's also Nobel laureate, right? So likewise, oh, good, good. Oh, you are looking at the yeah. This is on soft leadership. This is on strategies to build women leaders. This is soft leadership. Yeah, yeah. This is the book. Yeah, this is on soft leadership, a new direction to leadership, right? Then.
Yep.
So like this, very good, very good. You have collected a good collection of my books. It's very amazing. So I think it's an opportunity for me to see all 50 books now.
Yeah, the one book I do not see here on Amazon though is your one on soft skills. Where can we find that book?
Soft skills is the book, yeah. Okay, okay. This book, I told you, 10 books I have ordered. This is the latest book on soft skills. What happened, this book was published, but I could not promote and I could not do it. Why? Because my right hand was paralyzed.
Right.
So my book was about to be published. I made a commitment. I submitted the manuscript, but I was on the bed for more than almost 1.5 years. So by then, after that, the book was published. So I could not even I don't know how to upload the things. So I had to upload and share. So there are some challenges of the brainstorm. Hopefully, I'll be able to update my Amazon profile.
Okay.
So,
And then just to let everybody know, I'd just like to bring this up because what happened was Professor Rao ended up with having a stroke due to complications from COVID.
yeah.
So that is the reason why he has difficulty using his I'm sorry, right arm.
Right hand. It's problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his right arm. And as a fellow person who's got palsy on his right side, I know how difficult that can be to every once in a while have a side that just doesn't work. So it's amazing that you're going to keep going through this. As you guys can all see right here from his page on Amazon, all you got to do is search for, oh, I want to get rid of that football looking thing there. But I just searched in Professor M.S. Rao, and
Yeah.
all of his books are coming. Some of his books are coming up,
Yeah.
but you've got everything from. We were talking about this. See the light, spiritual powers, wellness, happiness, and success. We talked about that book the last time that we were together. You've got smart leadership. I love that you got this one, strategies to build women leaders globally. I think that
Yeah.
one's amazing. I love anything that's trying to take and promote anything that's a little bit difficult. And as you saw there, I don't know. Right there, we got 5 out of 5-star rating out of 10. All 10 people who read this book so far have given you 5 stars. So that's fantastic. Um, Again, this is Soup for Academy Leaders, Secrets to Successful Public Speaking. I think this is one that a lot of people need. So, but um,
Actually, let me share it with you. Sorry for the interruption. I'm basically an orator and a speaker, but because of the brain stroke, things have changed here and there. And I was stammering and I was repeating the same thing of the brain stroke. Once I'm getting back to the track, I'll be able to speak fluently and also I'll be able to speak globally with the various eminent people. So I have, I'm very optimistic that I'll be able to communicate effectively. Not only I'll be able to communicate effectively, but also I'll be able to speak well and I'll inspire the people across the world.
yeah, I will be leaving the link right here, right below us when this airs tonight. So, but we'll be leaving the link to the Soft Leadership. You can pick up the paperback for $15.95 right here on Amazon of Soft Leadership, and then he is working very diligently to get Soft Skills back here on Amazon. We'll see what we can do to maybe get a couple of those books, and we can sell them here. Who knows? Let's see what we can do to work together. So what is one thing, Professor, that you would like for everybody to walk away from this interview with? What is one lesson you would like everybody to walk away from hearing this and go, I got it?
The thing is, uh, uh, we must emphasize on soft leadership not only now, in the future. Why? Because the world needs soft leadership, not only for organizations but also for the countries. And sometimes, so like when you look at Donald Trump, he's a hard leader. So we don't want hard leaders. We want soft leaders. Again, don't get confused that soft leaders are the people who are not task oriented. The reality is that uh, software leaders are the leaders who lead through people skills without compromising task orientation. Okay, so the message from this interview is the organizations must uh, uh, they must emphasize on this excellence and effectiveness, and nations must uh, uh, emphasize on peace and prosperity globally. That's how we have to do it, not only in the years to come, because the hard leadership is gone. So it's time for us to focus on soft leadership.
Well, I know I am very interested, and I will be reading these books. I think it's the reviews themselves make it very sound very important to all of us business people. So I look forward to picking up a copy and reading it by the next time that we talk. So I appreciate it, Professor. It was great to talk to you again. And I hope nothing but the best with your recovery and with your continuing to teach people about, all the things that you've learned with leadership.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I express my gratitude to you for your time and for this beautiful interview. And looking forward to more and more interviews. Thank you very much. With
Absolutely.
gratitude.
Absolutely. Maybe one of these times we'll have to talk about the women's book. I'm very interested to get that out to some of my colleagues
Gender and
and
diversity.
friends.
Gender and diversity. We'll look at it. We'll explore that in the next interview.
Sounds great. Sounds great. All right. So this is Zach Clayton. I've been talking to Professor Rao, and please make sure that you go to this website right below us, and that's on Amazon, and you can pick up this soft leadership. We will let you know as soon as soft skills is available to you. But pick up soft leadership and any of his other books right here using this link. So Professor, again, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
like to talk about the chili cook-off for just a little bit. You just saw a commercial for it, and it's finally going to happen. It's only taken 7 years to get to 5 years. But it's coming up on November 13th at Key Largo Lounge. We've held the past four versions of the chili cook-off there. We are now adding a Texas Hold'em aspect to this. So we're calling it our Poker for Pediatrics, which we're really excited about. You can register for the game, the poker game. You can register your chili for the chili cook-off, or you can register to become a sponsor by using this little QR code right here. What we're doing with this is we are raising money to purchase books and board games and puzzle books, art supplies, spiritual books, and unopened toys for our kids in Northern Colorado hospitals. Now, for all of you who are not in Northern Colorado, don't think that we forgot about you. We are asking you to please join us. Go and pick up a board game. Go and pick up a book. Open up the cover. Sign your name on the inside from the Smith family. Write 2 in it. And then let a nurse fill in that name. Put a tag on it. Say, from the Smith family on a board game. Let them put it in the family room of your local hospital. If you would like a sticker that you can put on it to give us credit here at Community Pay It Forward, we would love it. We don't require it. This isn't about us. This is not about Community Pay It Forward. This is about the kids who have to spend time in hospitals. This is about the families who have to spend endless hours at hospitals with something to do with other kids and trying to put new board games in there. It's making sure that these kids who are not sick enough to need Children's Hospital don't feel left out. Our children should not be punished because they don't need the Children's Hospital. So we're asking you to please join us. Make sure that we're dropping off books to every hospital in the country, in the world. If you're joining us from some other country, please make sure that you guys are doing this. Let's support our kids who are there, because I don't care if you're 3 or 50. If you're in a hospital, it's not a fun place to be. So let's make sure that we're dropping off books. One of the things that we can do, one of the ways that you can make this happen is by contacting us here at Community Pay It Forward. We have some great gratitude journals from our wonderful partner, Alistair Banks. This is her gratitude journal for kids. And I'm very sorry, my background is bleeding through. But this is the gratitude journal for kids. This is the gratitude journal for teens. Similar aspect, different stylings, you know, a little bit different in there. There's not as much artwork when it comes to drawing things, but there's more puzzles and stuff in there. And then you also have the gratitude journals for adults. We also have great friends in Loveland, Lindsay Whitlock, who wrote this book, Silly Shadows. We have copies of Silly Shadows that you can take, you can grab. All you have to do is, here you go. I did this for my granddaughter. I wrote in there, you know, to of course, this says to baby KK, but you can take and you can write just to, leave it blank, but from Grandma Adrian and Grandpappy Z. You know, you just take and you write in there, from the Clayton family 2 and you leave it blank, the nurses will give this book to somebody in that hospital, some child who just needs a little bit of a pick-me-up. We also have these great books. Another, sorry about the bleeding through. I am very sorry about it, but actually you can kind of see that pretty well. Look at that. The Life and Times of Baxter the Bat Dog. This right here is 3 stories in one. This is, it talks about Baxter and his story, Baxter on Halloween, and Baxter on Christmas. 3 books in one. We have these books for sale. And every time you purchase one of these books, a portion goes to a child's mission of your cause. We've had a great show today, personally, because we got to talk to a lot of great people. Professor Rao talking about his soft lessons with soft leadership, okay, and soft skills. Once again, soft skills are more like who you are, not what you can do, but who you are and how you can utilize who you are to turn those things into sales. So check them out. You can find soft leadership at Amazon. Right there is the URL. So going ahead and look for them there. We also had our dear friend JR from the Veterans Ranch, who, once again, you can donate cash right below us, the Give Send Go at / the Veterans Ranch. Anytime that you go there, anytime that you shop, or all you have to do is donate money and it goes directly to them. Folks, I'm out of time. I got to get out of here before it hits 2 hours, because if I don't, I can't replay this show, and I need to replay this show. My name is Zach Clayton, president and founder of Community Pay It Forward. I want to thank Stephanie Simoes. Anytime you need to buy some wine, she's your lady. Please get a hold of the Goddess of the Grape. She's a wonderful person. She does more for the community than anybody possibly could ever do. Thank you very much for your time. We hope to see you next time. Thank you. Have a great